Good morning, goeiemorgen.
Morning.
And I want to say I'm glad you are here early this morning.
Okay.
So she normally just arrives by the seat of her pants, but this morning she was about 2 minutes early. So yeah, we've been having can I say quite weird weather this past week. We actually had a great weekend, and then suddenly we had Monday with snow on Desert Road and everywhere
Yes.
else, and we had a cold snap, if you can call it a cold snap, but still here, so it's not very snappy.
It's cold.
It's cold, it's chilly. So,
But the sun is shining at least, so yeah.
sun is shining, and we're hoping for better weather. Sorry, I've got a cat in the office. As you can see, we've got a new office. This is new home office. We've moved from one part of the home to a different area in the home. So yeah, we've changed a few things around, and that's all due to the fact that my kids decided to leave home. So
yes,
we can say thanks to them. So we've got a bigger space now available for what we need to do.
I'd rather have them here. But anyway.
All right. This morning, let's get back on a better track there. This morning, we are going to take your questions that you have. And I think there's quite a few questions. Please keep it not immigration related. And let's see if we can answer any of those questions. So let's say on the one side, good morning, Sean. So Sean, good morning to Sean there. Hallo, julle excited om te hoor wat julle alles gaan ons vertel vanaand. Yeah, we're also excited.
It's a surprise for us too.
It's a surprise for us too, because we are going to South Africa next week. This time we will be broadcasting out of Johannesburg.
Oh my word.
For the very first time in our life, 30 Minutes with Jan will be live in South Africa. So we're going to be broadcasting direct from Johannesburg in a week's time. So that'll be it's normal time as you normally see us now. South Africans will see us on the Wednesday evening, and New Zealanders will see us on the Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be the same.
Very much exactly the same. Yeah, nothing strange. Just weird for us because it's a different time zone for us. So,
listen, now, Felix, is it snowing in?
It's presumably snowing in Mount Ruapeu and Whakapapa. And,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking of taking the car on Saturday and just driving around there to see what the snow is all about. So
yeah.
We've been there prior this year.
But there were no snow.
No snow.
Yeah.
So
I hope there's enough snow for you to ski. That will be great. Okay, so
just interestingly, from Sean Lang, I just want to go back to that one. Christchurch is insane. Monday, 17 degrees. The evening it rained. Tuesday, the whole of Christchurch was under snow. Yep. All right, here's a question. I have a question. When immigrating, how does you go about doing a tax immigration in order to get off the SARS database? Sean, the quick answer is there. You got to wait 3 years after you've left South Africa, and then you can do a tax migration, as we call it these days. And I've got a company that can help you for quite a reasonable price on that. So
you can,
easy as.
Will you put up the details?
I'll put up the details a bit later. Yeah. So
don't forget.
Somebody's saying, Jan, can we meet up for coffee when you come to Johannesburg? We are moving to NZ hopefully October. Guys, I'm just going through Johannesburg at a big speed. To be quite frank, I'm arriving in Johannesburg, sleeping that night on the airport. We will be doing our 30 Minutes with Jan. And the next morning, I'm picking people up from the airport and then driving to Klerksdorp. Is that the right word to say?
Yeah.
Klerksdorp.
For a wedding, and then we're leaving again.
Then we're leaving again. We're going to Bona for 3 days, and then we're moving up to another Kakamas. All right. Once we've done it, Kakamas, we're really going to Kakamas. It's not Legend or something like that.
The cats are playing with the bag.
Please just take the bag from them.
Oh, they're playing.
No, but they can play outside.
Oh,
like cats. And if you can get out here this morning.
Yes.
And from Kakamas, we're going all the way down to Cape Town, the 3rd K in our journey. So that'll be quite interesting, the 3 Ks. Sadly enough, I would love to have coffee with everybody that is in South Africa. We are meeting some people up at Bona, I've heard, I think on the Sunday.
Okay, let's carry on.
Felix Kurifuri asking, how do you cancel Vodacom account?
Oh my word, I wish I knew.
I'm still struggling to cancel my MTN account, which I cancelled actually 5 years ago. I don't owe them money.
We went into MTN before we immigrated, and we asked them to. It was about a month before we.
Yeah,
left.
it was more than a month when we left.
Yeah.
We went over onto prepaid and
Yes.
everything. Our contract
Cancelled
was
everything.
done.
We didn't owe them any money. They were very sure of that, and now all of a sudden we do. But anyway,
Yeah.
Someone asking if you have to convert your driver's license as soon as you're there, or is it not necessary?
Let me say that the question goes further to say, what would you recommend? I would recommend get it done. It's just easier to drive on a New Zealand driver's license. The easy thing is you walk into the AA. Takes about 15 minutes. You do an eye test. The charge I've heard now it's $52 now. And you get your New Zealand driver's license about a week later in the post.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it immediately. You can drive.
Yeah, you can drive for another year as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things you do have time when you arrive. You just get it done.
Yeah, and it's quick and
Get
easy.
it done.
So
Open your bank
not
account. Do the driver's license.
It's not a hassle.
So
someone spoke to your mom and she just gave them all your travel arrangements.
Shot. Problem is, my mum is going with us. What else is there?
How can you get an IRD number?
I don't know if you can get an IRD number still in South Africa. I'm talking under correction here. I'm not going to say no. The whole thing is IRD will need your address in New Zealand, except if you got an address in New Zealand. But it's easy. You go on the website, complete all your details down there, and they are actually quite quick. And if you needed to do it faster, you can pay. What did we pay? Something like $5 or $7.
I don't know. It normally takes about 11 days.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we needed to wait for 11 days. Yeah.
So
what people sometimes do is when they come and they have to get their first salary payment and they don't have an IRD number yet, your job will just keep your money back until you've got your IRD number, and then they will pay it over. They won't pay it over before you've got an IRD. So
because they know you're going to pay tax like crazy. But the thing is, if you pay more tax, eventually you will get it back, but it will take a bit longer.
But I think that's probably one of the very first things that you need to do is your IRD.
Somebody's saying your holiday in SA sounds amazing.
Very, very fast pace.
Very fast pace. We're going to be away for 2.5 weeks, and then we're back in New Zealand. So big thing is I'm going to see my kids, which I haven't seen in 5 years. So I'm going to 2 weddings, one in Klerksdorp and one in Kakamas.
Yeah.
Yes, can we take this question?
Yeah.
How much money would we need as a start when arriving for a family of 2?
Oh, 2.
2, that's quite interesting. A family of 2 could probably just live in a very smaller place than having a 4-bedroom or a 3-bedroom or something like that.
The joke is just that a 2-bedroom place is going to cost you exactly the same.
Or very much the same as a 3-bedroom, yeah.
Plus, but he wants to know the startup money.
Oh, startup money, you'll probably need 4 weeks of rent as a deposit, and then another 2 weeks, one for the first week, and another 2 weeks, something like 6 weeks of rental.
Yes.
So if your rental are $600 per week, you'll be paying 6 times $600.
Yes.
So that's $3,600, or South African money, it's nearly 40,000 rand. Then you got to do the plane tickets, and I'm not going to thumb suck the plane tickets. They are expensive these days.
No, it's just a startup.
Oh, just a startup.
After when you get,
You normally do not need to pay deposits for water and lights. You do not need to pay a lot more deposits than that. But just keep in mind, for the first time that you are going to buy food, that is a very, very expensive exercise, because if you arrive here, you've got nothing. It's not as if you're just buying whatever you've used. If you arrive here, you have to buy everything from the salt. You have nothing, absolutely nothing. So you've got to buy everything, and that will set you back. I think we budgeted about 10,000 rand at that specific stage, but
we did it with
10,000 rand, and we were still adding more and more as time goes on.
Yeah.
So,
and then what else do you need to do? What do you also need money for? There's a lot of small stuff. The thing is, what we
changing your licenses, buying your cars, that's all stuff. And a car can go anything from $3,500, which I won't recommend buying something like that.
And it depends if you're bringing your furniture.
Yeah.
You
need to
can
new
buy furniture from the op shops,
Mm.
which is not that expensive, but
Yeah.
that's also something that you need to save up for. So I can't give you an exact amount. What we found was whatever your budget is,
Times two.
because it just I don't know, on paper it just looks amazing, but when you hear
Oh
it,
yeah. You eat through that budget as crazy. Morena, Dani, and good morning to Vanita on the other side. So let's see what else is there. Interesting one. Any books or blogs you would recommend for NZ personal finance? There's a website called Sorted, but if you don't understand NZ, you are probably going to struggle with Sorted. Sorted's got a lot of different things on, and it's sometimes very conservative. I'm not saying it's a bad website; it's just conservative, probably the way that it's set up to be.
What is it about? What's the website?
You can look at KiwiSaver on that and so
Okay.
forth, but you got to keep in mind it's conservative. I'm not saying conservative is a bad thing. Don't rarely get me wrong here today.
Okay.
It's just you got to keep in mind that it's very, very conservative, and the calculations is very, very conservative. When I first looked at Sorted, I thought, oh, I'm not going to make it.
That one, Ilona saying we got a homestay for the first month just to get all our things sorted. That is one thing that you also have to budget for. You're probably not going to have a rental when you arrive in New Zealand. I know some people,
and you know what?
I don't know how they do it, but some people come and they already have a rental. But
they got people that go look for rentals for them.
Yes, but it's I don't know, but it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Normally to find a rental, so you'll have to stay somewhere. We also lived in an Airbnb for 46 days. We were waiting for our container to arrive.
And it was actually the same price as what our rental are.
The thing is, what I found with living in an Airbnb first is you have time to just kind of look around and see where you want to be.
Where you want to live. That's a big thing.
And where the schools are and where the shops are and what the area is like.
And especially for people with kids. And especially if you've never been to New Zealand. And that's the thing with a lot of South Africans. They arrive in New Zealand. They've never been here before. They've never been to this town. So they arrive in an area which they think is absolutely blessed, but it's probably not the best area. I'm not saying that's everybody. Please, I don't want to put everybody under the same comb. Is that under the soft come scare?
No, it's not.
My English is gone today. So. But at the end of the day, you got to make up your mind where you want to be, what schools your kids need to be in, and you got to move, if need be, into that area just to be in the correct zone for the schools. So.
Yeah. So it is a good idea to do that, but that also costs a lot of money. Yeah.
Let's answer this question. If this is touching on immigration, but it won't be immigration. From your experience, would you recommend working through an agency, or is it a better option to do everything yourself? An agency recently quoted 100,000 Rand. It's a lot of money. I just think we came with an agent. Yeah. We came with a lawyer, immigration lawyer, and I doubt if we would have been here without him.
With immigration changing all the time, I think you're taking it's a risk to do it yourself. Yeah, but, I would say.
And have you seen how confusing it is?
It is really confusing.
It's CPVVs and AEWVs.
I don't understand most of it.
Job tokens and.
I'm sorry.
So give me, just put some hand sanitizer on, please.
So if I can say, I would. I don't know if that is the going rate for an agent.
I've actually heard rates way worse than that.
Is it?
And a few but less than that. But if I have to do it again, I'll probably use an agent again. So do you maybe know how they process the visa? No, I can't tell you anything about visa processing. That's immigration. Sorry, Ilona. Anything else I can probably try and help you with except immigration.
Maybe Vanita can
Vanita
answer
will
that
probably
question for
be
you.
able to answer more than that.
I'm sorry, there's something in my
They're going to throw you off the plane next week.
I'm not ready. I imagine something happens before we fly.
You should wear a mask from now on. So, Vanita's saying, that's regarding the price of $100,000 from agency. She just says shop around for quotes. And if you are uncertain about certain immigration agents, I think we've heard the good and the bad of all of them. So pop the question on one of our pages, and somebody will answer that and say, yep,
Yeah.
keep them or don't keep them. So yeah, let's see what else is there. Love the stripes.
Oh, thank you. They're
Yeah,
going the wrong way. Oh, they should go that way to make you look skinnier.
So this is a fat shirt, actually.
Yes.
Question here: did you take any pets over with you? If so, how much did it cost? We got a quote, and that was in 2016.
Yeah, we had 4 cats.
200,000 rand. So
yeah, so
that's when I said my cats don't understand English. They won't understand the Kiwi dogs. They won't know that. So
it was a very, very hard thing to do, to leave your animals behind, because they are like your kids. It was really hard. We really struggled with that emotionally, but it just didn't make sense to put them through all that trauma and spend all that money.
And the other problem is there's a massive problem in New Zealand regarding pets, and people don't want to rent the houses to you if you got pets. It is a bit of a fickle. So you arrive here with your pets, but you can't really get a place to rent, or you've got to pay way more just to rent the place. I've heard of people who were paying $50 to $100 per week more.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people that bring their pets over, especially dogs. So it can happen, and there are people that will give you a rental, but it's hard to find a rental.
And especially our South Africans that got the big dogs. There's not really big dogs in New Zealand, or let's say the amount of big dogs is way less. So let's see, what is the percentage of KiwiSaver on your salary? The norm is 3% from the employer and 3% from you. So you lose 3%, they lose 3%, but that 6% goes into your KiwiSaver. You can actually add more to that if you want to, or you could do that as a different type of investment plan. But speak to me, I can help you with that.
Read that. You can put Trevor's thing on.
I can't put that one on, but you can read it.
Trevor's just saying, please warn people to bring as much money as possible when they arrive. Rands don't last year. A lot of my customers currently going back as they simply ran out of money before they could find a job for their partner. So plan and budget accordingly. That is so important. Don't think that you are going to make it if you've got $50,000.
No, if you've got $50,000, you probably will just make it.
You'll probably make it for about 3 or 4 months, and then it's over. So and it's sometimes some people struggle to find a job, so you have to kind of budget on just one person's salary, just to play safe. Yeah.
So, and then let me see what the other ones. No, somebody's saying, or Liana van Niekerk saying, vet costs are so much. So that's the veterinary.
Yeah, I don't know how much the vets are in South Africa. I don't find them really that expensive when you work in dollars. I don't think
it's a different ball game once you start earning dollars and you have to pay in dollars. We had both our cats sterilized, and then one cat was in a fight, and we had her fixed up thereafter. It didn't come down to that much.
I didn't think that it was really expensive, but I think if you convert it probably to rands, then it is probably expensive. Yeah, it is, like Sean says, it is insane that New Zealand comes across as a country that does everything for animal welfare.
I'm sorry for some of the questions we need to read out. We've got 2 different programs running now this morning, and the one we can't put it on the screen, so sorry about that. So
I can understand that. If I had a rental, I probably would also consider rather not renting it out to people with animals, because you don't know what you're going to get. We've got friends that have got dogs, and I mean, you can't even tell that there's a dog in that house. But then I know other people that got dogs, and when you walk into the house, it just smells of dog. So
we bought a house a month or what ago, and you could see there was a dog there, except the fact that you could smell the dog in the house. The grass outside was totally massive bare patches. And I think that's what people want to stop. So if you move out of that house that you were renting and that grass looks like
So what
bad.
I see happens is when you've rented a place for about 6 months or a year, and you then ask, is it possible to get a pet? Then if you are a good renter, they won't say no.
Yeah, I saw that as
They'll
well.
allow you. Yeah.
So, but you got to remember, if there's a cat or a dog door that needs to be fitted, it's going to come out of your pocket, and to replace that the day that you leave, it's going to come out of your pocket, and that's quite expensive as well. So, another comment from Sean saying, "Do your dental work before coming over. With the price of dentists in New Zealand, it is quite expensive. Dentists are expensive exercise." So
it is really expensive. I have to go to a dentist when we come back from South Africa. Everyone asks me, why don't you just go in South Africa? But the thing is, I can't go back to South Africa every time that I need to visit a dentist. It's just not, I can't do that.
That will be just way too expensive.
So some other time you just have to make peace with the fact that you are here and you have to pay it. But I mean, my appointment, they gave me a quote for $1,200, which is 12,000 rand. But yeah, I've saved for it, so it's okay.
Pet insurance. Somebody saying something about pet insurance.
You get pet insurance.
You get pet insurance. I still don't understand it. It's about $70 per pet. If you take $70 over a year, that's $840.
It's not that expensive. You get that's not so expensive.
Isn't it that's cheaper?
Yes.
I don't know. I actually
have to be that
actually so somebody sent me this and asked me if I could do this for them as well. And I'm not going to say the company's name, but that was $70 per animal per month.
Okay.
Yeah. And I thought I just said to them, geez, just put that money into the bank. I mean, so.
Yeah, the thing with the dogs, be mindful. Dogs need to be registered, and that is it's a yearly thing that you have to do. I don't know, Donnie, what does it cost? What is the cost of that? It's
every year they register. They give you a tag that you got to put around the dog's neck. So, Liana van Niekerk asking question: who is the best to go to for first-time home buyers? Liana, just drop me a question either on private mail or email or WhatsApp, and I'll tie you up with Jack. Jack is my go-to guy. Then somebody just saying here, we will be there in November and start work 1 December. We saved a bit of money. Where will the best place to look for household goods to start? Oh my goodness, that's a big.
It depends if you want new furniture or if you don't mind secondhand furniture. The op shops, there are a lot of op shops. Op shop shopping in New Zealand is huge.
And it's basically where people run out of good or have too many good furniture. Op shops, you won't really get rubbish.
No,
that's one thing. You won't get rubbish.
It's not like the tweedehands winkels in South Africa.
It's not like what we call pinky winkels in South Africa. So op shops, they take furniture that's in excess of people's homes and they resell this to fund projects like the hospice and so forth. Mostly for hospices and so forth.
It's a huge thing here. When we arrived, I was also thinking, I'm not going to buy. People shop clothes on op shops. People that are,
there is a special. I just drove by the place, by the Salvation Army op shop yesterday, and your girl's going to listen to me. They're selling bras at $1 each.
Okay. I know that there are some op shops in Auckland that the clothes that you find, they still have the tags on. It's like new clothes, and you get them for dirt cheap. So I was also thinking, I'm never going to buy from an op shop, but it's a thing in New Zealand. You can buy from them and you don't even have to blink.
Good question. Depending on region for registration of dogs, so that is what the price will be. But here's another one. Let me just get that one up. Does dentistry not fall under free healthcare?
No.
It is free for kids, I think, until age 16, but it doesn't include what is
just a general dentistry.
What is Drake wires?
It's not orthodontist.
Orthodontistry. It's basic dentistry for kids, pulling a tooth, seeing that they are clean, blah, blah, blah. But not for adults. Adults, you got to go to the dentist.
It is quite expensive.
Question here, how does the rubbish bins recycling work? Okay. Today, Thursday, in our area, it's a rubbish bin day. We've got either the household one or the recycling one going out on every alternative week.
Okay, let me tell you how it works.
She's better than I just put the stuff.
You get 3 bins from council. The one is for general rubbish, not food scraps, just general rubbish. The other one is for recycling, and the other one is for food scraps.
Yep.
The food scraps one, they take away every week, and then the other two, they alternate. So the 1 week it's the general, and then the other week it's the recycling. But we also have a bin, an extra bin from, what's the company's name? J Richards?
I think J Richards or something like that. You pay extra for that.
Yeah,
so.
Because we find that the food scraps, the bin for the food scraps is really small, and we don't have a, what do you call that thing?
Compost.
No, the thing in your zinc.
Oh, it cuts the food scraps up.
Zinkerator or something they call it. We don't have one. If you have one, it's amazing because most of your food scraps go in there, but we don't have one. So our food scraps bin is a little bit small for us to last the whole week.
All right, here's another one here on the other side. Benny Duplessis asking, what's the reason for property being so expensive in New Zealand?
Wish I knew.
The whole reason behind that is, point one, the labor cost is quite high. You will also see that when you build a property or go and have a look at somebody building a property, it's quite different than what you are used to in South Africa. You do not have one guy doing everything. You've got a builder. If they come in, they just erect the poles. Then you got the guy that does the concrete. Then you got somebody that does the walls. Then you got somebody else to do. There's so many different trades that arrive at your premises just to build. It's not like a general guy that comes, he builds the house, puts in everything. Not in New Zealand.
No, everyone
so you've got a lot of trades. Plus, then your council costs are quite high. Council charges a rather decent amount of money just to, how can I say, just to accommodate you and put all the plans in place. Plus, you've got to have a plan. Everything is got to be planned in New Zealand. And then the other big thing is there's a rather shortage of houses in New Zealand. I know Kiwi Bank said the other day, there's no shortage, but there is a shortage of houses in New Zealand. There's a shortage of rentals in New Zealand. So as soon as you have a shortage, that increases demand as well.
But it is ridiculous what you have to pay for
a
house.
It is very, very high.
It is really high.
But I can say something, if a house is a good investment as well, according to me. I could be totally wrong, but house prices, as they go up, that is your investment, that goes up as well. So, Sean Lange just saying it's an incinerator.
Yeah, I know they call it some garbage disposal.
Garbage disposal
is probably the easiest one.
So, what is there any other questions? Let's see. We've got about another minute to go.
Do you know if Hamilton is a nice area to live in? The people that I know that live in Hamilton are very happy.
Hamilton is just not near the sea. I think the nearest part of the ocean is about 47 kilometers away.
It's not far.
Yeah.
Hamilton is quite a big, it's a city. It's quite a big city. But the thing about Hamilton is it's got all your, every medical.
Oh, yes. Everything you can think of is in Hamilton.
Where in Tauranga, we don't have, there's a lot of specialists that we don't have in Tauranga that you have to go to Hamilton for. So I know that medically, Hamilton is a good place to live. And it's also beautiful. The inner city is really nice, and they've got beautiful gardens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think it's probably like every other town with one region is good and the other one is not, or doesn't look so good. But
it's all your choice where you can stay.
But I think everything that you are looking for, you'll find there. We were there Monday, and we went to this one shopping center, and it was really a nice shopping center.
Yeah, it's a nice shopping center. It was clean and everything was decent and so forth.
Yeah.
Hamilton is just in the middle of the island. Just got to keep that in mind. If you're already out there for fishing or that type of stuff, you'll have to drive about 50 kilometers per time, or 50 kilometers there and 50 kilometers back. So that is probably the biggest drawback of Hamilton.
Hamilton, if you know Bloemfontein, Hamilton kind of.
I've got the Bloemfontein feeling. So.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, guys and girls, that's us. This is our last time in New Zealand for 3 weeks, I think. So your next time you'll see us, we'll be in Johannesburg, and we'll talk to you from there. All right. Thanks. Enjoy your day and stay warm.
Bye.